Hey, what's going on, guys? Dave here, and I wanted to dive into a little bit of our SEO performance over the past year, what my team and I are working on, and the performance that we've driven for all the dealerships in your portfolio. I have some really exciting stuff to talk about and plans for the future. I know we do the weekly strategy calls, but I just wanted to do a little bit more of a deep dive than we're able to do on those calls, and just kind of go through where you were, where we are now, and kind of what we're setting up for the future. So Christian, Brielle, Andrew, whoever's watching this, I hope you're well. And please reach out with any questions, comments, concerns you have for me, or anything you want to kind of dive into a little bit deeper maybe, or even if there's just something you want to pivot on. So let's go dealership by dealership. I will start with the BMW of Bayshore account. So I'm going to start with just general traffic and where we were, where we've been. So let's go back here. Let's look at a 2-year picture here. So back in 2023, May, June of 2023, we're looking at about 4,800 organic traffic. Now that's, pretty standard. We were able to bring that up early last year in December of last year, or December of 2023 into early last year. This got to be about 6,300, and this was a really nice picture for us. We increased from 4,000 all the way up to 6,300. I mean, it's a nice increase, but I think what we've done over the past year is even more impressive. So if you look at January 2024, we're at 6,300 in terms of organic traffic, and that's monthly organic traffic coming through. If you look where we are in January of 2025, it's 12,385. So we effectively we actually doubled our traffic from last year into this year, which is quite honestly unheard of when you're not using paid media. I think we have a really cool opportunity at all of these dealerships where the auto industry as a whole, especially here on Long Island, from what I've seen, is very behind the 8 ball in terms of just online strategy. I get it. Local businesses, it's tough to keep up with the e-commerce guys and the people whose business is entirely online, especially as you have a brick and mortar and that's your first and foremost priority. But I do think we have a really unique opportunity where I can bring in the e-commerce insights and the forefront of the industry of what people are doing in terms of SEO and apply it to a local business, a brick and mortar business like you have. And doing this, I think we're able to edge out all of the competition here on Long Island if we can continue with this strategy. So first things first, July, June, May 2023, we're sitting at that 4,000 mark. Last year we come in, we're at that 6,000, approaching 7,000 mark. And this year, all throughout quarter 4 and into quarter 1 of 2025, we're looking at about 12,000 for our traffic, which is fantastic. So how are we getting that traffic? This is an organic play. We are not paying for this traffic whatsoever. And the way that we're approaching it is keywords, right? We want to rank on keywords. When someone searched on Google, we want to be the first option for whatever that keyword is. And whatever your previous SEO agency was doing, I'm sure they were showing you guys all these great results with look how many keywords we're ranking for. And I think sometimes when you don't understand the positioning of keywords, this becomes a vanity metric. It's one of those metrics that agencies use a lot of the times to say, hey, look at our performance. We're doing so good. Meanwhile, you as the business owner are not actually seeing any tangible results in terms of sales and lead capture. So if you look at 2023, early 2023, we're looking at about 3,881 keywords. Now, that's a solid amount of keywords, right? But what I really want you to look at here is the split between top 3, 4 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 50, and 51 to 100. You see those right there, that little graph, right where my mouse clicker is? So what this is basically saying is, of those keywords, you have 3,881, but which of those keywords are ranked at what position on Google search results? Now, when you think about Google search results, think about it in your own life. When you Google something, you're most likely to click on one of the top 3 immediately. If you're not clicking on one of the top 3, 95% of people are clicking on number 4 to 10. Anything past 10, in my opinion, is somewhat of a garbage keyword. For some of those longer tails where people are really searching for something specific, they can be beneficial. But for a dealership or a client of your size, all you really want to be focusing on is the top 1 to 10 placements. So right here we have top 3 70 and 4 to 10 140 out of 3,881 keywords. Not a great split. Now, if you look where we are right now, you can see that we've actually declined in the amount of keywords, right? We had 3,881. Now we only have 2,572. Well, that must be bad, right? No, it's actually it's a good thing. What we're doing, my team and I, is focusing our keywords instead of going for this giant net that we're casting. We are trying to fine tune the keywords that we're targeting for to keywords that are actually driving sales and leads, and really scaling those up so we can rank in the top placements for those specific keywords. I would rather have 100 top 10 keywords than 10,000, 80 keywords, 80th ranked keywords. Just because those are going to drive no traffic. Nobody's scrolling that far on a page. So if you see here, our split is top 3, 60 keywords now, and 4 to 10, 229. So we have a total of 290 in the top 10, as opposed to back here, we only had 210. So another number I want you to look at is a 21 to 50 and 51 to 100. Those are absolute garbage keywords. And the vast majority of the keywords we have here are in those placements. If you look here, the split now goes down a lot heavier towards the top. So we have 229 in the top 10 and 356 in the top 20. Where here we're looking at 123, 358. So long story short, we are trying to basically squeeze the opening that we're looking for in terms of keyword targeting, and target only those really top level keywords and edge out the rest of the competition. When you think about it, there's only so many really solid keywords for a local dealership here on Long Island, and you and every other dealership here are competing for them. What we want to do is be number 1, 2, and 3 for those keywords that they're also trying to compete on, because now we're stealing their traffic. If we're ranking number 92 for some random keyword, they don't care and we don't care. It's not driving anything. We want to rank for those really high impact keywords that everybody else is trying to get, and we're starting to really do that right now. And that is really why you see this traffic increase. Because if you compare the data here, you have more keywords in June of 2023, you're only getting 4,800 traffic sessions. We have 1,000 less keywords, but now we're looking at 12,000. So we've almost tripled our traffic with 1,000 less keywords. And this is really because we're ranking a lot heavier for those top impact keywords. All right, so that is BMW Bayshore traffic report. We're doing really well here. Let's go back and let's look at our backlinking, because this is the second half of the equation. Backlinking is, Christian, what we've been talking about a lot. It's something that I don't think was done really well here before. It's something a lot of agencies don't even focus on. And when they do focus on, it's just a half-assed effort, and they use bots and stuff to spread out a bunch of garbage traffic that actually does nothing. So the score we're looking at here is our authority score and our overall backlink volume. Now, what this is, for those of you who don't know or don't remember, basically your authority score is what Google sees. It's a number that Google gives you and says, how much do we trust this organization? How much do we trust this domain to send traffic there? Because what Google's trying to do is show relevant search data and drive people to a website that's reputable. It makes sense. You don't want to drive people to a scam website and Google be like, well, why was this ranked number 1? So the way they do that is called an authority score. And what that authority score is made up of is your content, your reviews, how people interact with your site, all of that baseline stuff, but also how other websites that exist interact with your website. Are people sending traffic to you? Are you listed across the web on reputable sites? What does that web look like? You can see here this network graph right here, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. So, if your domain is in the center here, what does that web look like? Where are all the sites linking back to? Where are the reviews coming from? Where are your listings? And Google uses this to make a full picture of how reputable you are as a site, and uses that as an indicator of how much traffic they should send to you and how they should rank you for keywords. So this is a super, super important part of SEO that a lot of people overlook, quite honestly, because it's really hard. It takes a lot of time, it's a lot of manual labor, and people just don't want to do it. They want to show vanity metrics like I was talking about earlier with those keywords and say, hey, look, we rank for so many keywords. Meanwhile, nothing's actually driving growth in the business. So our authority score right now, we started this last year, spring. We were at a 21. Now, keep in mind, authority score is incredibly, incredibly hard to raise because you're basically trying to convince Google that you are becoming more and more reputable. So this is probably the hardest thing to impact in an SEO business, and it usually takes years to actually work. I usually tell clients anywhere from like 2 to 5 years to really see this pay off in a huge way. Because at that time, if you can actually increase the score to a point where you are one of the most reputable sites in your industry, you will have such an easy time ranking for all these top keywords. Your vehicle listings in the Google shopping bar will appear first. I mean, it just makes the entire business online grow. So the way that we've been approaching this is removing a lot of our toxic backlinks. And toxic backlinks are when somebody links from a site that is just a garbage site. Like, let's say you have a site that has a 0 authority score, and those happen, and they send traffic to your website. Google actually doesn't like that, because now they're like, look, this one website is getting traffic from 100 websites that have no visitors. Why do they have all this garbage linking back to their website? Like, who are they working with, basically? So it actually makes you less reputable if you have toxic backlinks referring back to your site. And what I first saw when I came in here, if we go to BMW Bayshore, On my first review of our backlinks, I can tell that a different agency, whoever was working here before me, had actually tried to do backlinks. But again, they approach this from a vanity metric stance instead of an actual tangible, how are we driving business growth? And the way I can show you this is this. So if you see page authority score here on the left, you Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages is 72. Obviously, Yellow Pages is a long-term establishment. They're super trusted by a lot of people. We had our listing there. That's a great backlink with a score of 72. And we have a couple here, Edmunds, Cars.com, Kelley Blue Book, Auto Trader, etc. But as you can see, we're at 41 right now in terms of what row we're in. By the time we get to 72, so 30 backlinks, we're already down to a 1 score. And honestly, anything above this, like the 2s, 3s, 4s, it's not doing much. Then below that is all zeros. None of this matters. If anything, this is hurting us. So you can see here we're on row 82. Watch how far I'm going to scroll down here. Where is it? 191. So from 82 to 191, that's 110. So you had about 130 backlinks here. 150 backlinks. Out of those 150, 120 of those backlinks are absolute garbage. So going back to our sheet here, if you see here, in March of 2024, we had about 111 referring domains. We started backlinking early summer last year. And you can see this trend from when we started in July all the way up to where we are in February. So at that point in June of 2024, we're at 106 referring domains. Right now we're at 238. So we've more than doubled our backlinking while removing all of the toxic backlinks. So if you think about it, we've removed about 120 and we've added back in another 210, which is awesome. And this has brought our authority score up from last year of a 21 to right now we're sitting at a 25. This year, my goal is to push this up into the 30s. It's going to be a challenge, but I think we can do it. And then year by year, if we can get an increase of anywhere from 3 to 8 on that authority score, we're going to be in a really, really good place in the coming years. As we just gain more and more authority through Google, we're going to start edging out competitors in terms of ranking, and we're going to really see this thing set sail. So right now, that's kind of where we're sitting with the Habberstad BMW of Bayshore. I can show you really quick. Let me go over here, BMW of Bayshore. So these are all of the backlinks. If you guys ever want to see where we're linking and the sites we're using and the partners that we have right now, you can come in here and I have a week-by-week breakdown of all of the links that we get pointed back to our website. So every week I'm targeting about 40 per dealership, sometimes a little bit more. So that is just going to keep scaling and scaling and scaling over time. But you can come in here and see a week-by-week breakdown of everything that we're doing, the domain authority score that we're tied to, the actual link itself, and you can see here, we have hundreds and hundreds of these. And some of these we do clean out. Like if we do something and we see that it's not necessarily a great backlink for us, we will clean that out so it doesn't impact our score negatively. But we're driving a really good amount of positive volume. So that's Bayshore. Alrighty, I had to hop off quick, but getting back into it, we have the Huntington dealership. I'm not going to go as deep as I did for the BMW because I think I did a lot more explanation for that dealership, but I'll go through the other 3 and just give you the top level metrics and what our plans are. So we're looking at Huntington. Back in June 23, we had about 9,500 organic traffic sessions. Looking earlier this year, March of 24, we're at about 11,000, and we were able to peak in December of 2024 at almost 17,000 sessions. This is flattened back down a little bit to 15,000, but for February, March, quarter 1 months, this is fantastic. Again, back in 2023, we're only at 9,000. So we've added on almost 6,000 sessions here. We've had over a 50% increase in traffic overall organically. Same exact thing going on with the keywords. We're kind of fine-tuning what we're targeting. We're not going for that broadcasted net anymore. We don't care if we have 12,000 keywords. We want as many impactful keywords in the top 10 as we can possibly get, and that's what we're driving towards here. And then going to our authority score and our backlinking. If this will load for me. All right, so our authority score trend. Huntington, again, it's an older dealership, at least from what I'm seeing online. Like, it has more history on Google. Our authority score was dipped down to about 19. We've gotten that back up to 21. We got down as low as 16 in December. We had a couple issues, a couple hits because of toxic backlinks, but we've gone from 19 to 21. I'm hoping to get this to 25 in the next 2-3 months. I think we're right there, but We had to get rid of a lot of the toxic backlinks that were already involved. You can see here, same type of thing. If I go back to Huntington, here it is. You can see here, anything with a number attached is decent until about the 10. And then the rest of these, all these zeros right here, these are all garbage backlinks that you had. And you can see for Huntington, the amount there was 331 of these. So we had to remove a lot of that, and now we're starting to get some really solid backlinks. You can see last year, March 2024, we had about 125 backlinks for referring domains here. We brought that up for February 2025. We're all the way up to 434 now. So we're making a lot of progress here. I'm pushing a little heavier on Huntington just because we're not getting the same movement that we're seeing in Bayshore in terms of our authority score. Our traffic increase is great, but I would like to see that authority score get pushed up a little higher. Like I was talking about earlier, authority score is one of those things that really does take a lot of time. If you look at sites that have a super high authority score, they've been around on the internet for 30, 40 years building up this reputation. So this is going to take time, but we are putting a little bit more focus on the backlinks for Huntington, and that's why we're seeing we've almost 450 in a year, up from 117. So that's going really well. And then back to this sheet again, you can see all of our live links. Habberstad BMW of Huntington, live links, and this is going by week. So you can see there's about 40 per week we're doing, sometimes a little bit more, 42, 43. And all the links are here, all of our authority scores, and we're going to continue pushing on this until we're in the thousands. This is a long-term strategy, but we're starting to see some really positive growth, and I think with some more time, we're going to be easily edging out the rest of the dealerships here on Long Island. All right, let's head back into Mini. We'll check what's going on with Mini. Mini's performance is fantastic. If you've been following along with the Mini performance calls, Mini as a portfolio, the entire company is down right now. And traffic is declining. A lot of these things are declining. But our dealership specifically is increasing month over month, which is awesome to see. I know our form submission rate has been increasing, and just our overall site traffic is way outpacing other dealerships in the Mini portfolio. But let's jump into Mini quick and look at our organic traffic. So here's our picture, 2 years. So you can see here, this is like when we started working together. Over the year and a half before that, we were pretty much flat, right? We're looking at 700, 800, 900, 860, like this is a pretty flat curve. We started working together here, and you can see the results of it. We are really starting to scale up Mini. Again, last year, let's say December, which is peak, we're looking at 694, into spring, 700, so anywhere from like 600 to 800. Our peak last year, we were able to hit 2,300, so that's almost 4x what we were looking at in previous years, which is absolutely fantastic. And obviously that's going to flatten back down, but even at the flattened curve, we're looking at 1,400 up from 600 and 700. So we're looking at a 2x increase in traffic in 1 year of work, which is outstanding. I'm hoping to double that again this year and continue to do so as we push down the line. Same exact thing with organic keywords. Mini is a little bit different. I don't know if you had the same SEO agency working on Mini before me as you did the other dealerships. But similar strategy, we're trying to rank as much as we can in the top 10. For Mini, we have 22 in the top 3 and 54 in the top 10. We're going to try to push this number up higher and higher, but for now we're sitting in a pretty good place. And then our authority score, if we head over there, excuse me. Same thing, last year we're looking at an authority score of 10. And this year we pretty much doubled it. We're now at 18, 19 now, which is great. I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw a client double authority score. I'm hoping to continue pushing on this, and we definitely will as our backlinkings increase. But you can see here for our referring domains and our backlinks, back in March of last year, we only had 89. We were able to bring that up to 213, and we are continuing to push there. And you can see it here as well. All of our live links for Mini, we're doing the same amount of volume here, about 40 to 45 a week. And going back to what you had before we came on, Mini only had, what was this, about 15, 20 worthwhile articles pointing back to the site. And then again, all of these zeros are garbage. They don't even have that many, about 100. But still, not a lot of traffic whatsoever coming from backlinking and no authority coming from backlinking. But we were able to double our authority score, increase our backlinks by a huge margin. And again, you can always come look in this sheet if you want to see these actual links that we're targeting. They are live, they are real. But yeah, great performance on Mini too. We've pretty much doubled traffic. We've doubled authority score in a year. Super excited to see what we can do with this dealership in the coming years. And then last but not least, let's dive into Power Sports quick. Now, Power Sports is not going to have the same movement because of two reasons. Number one, it is a brand new domain. This was started last year, so it has pretty much no authority with Google whatsoever, although I will talk about that. We did get it to start increasing authority score. And at the same time, we're not doing the same backlinking we are for Power Sports as we are doing for the other companies. That was a package Christian and I talked about for the Mini and BMW dealerships, but we haven't done that with Power Sports. So the results are a little bit less than the other dealerships, but still I think they're pretty powerful, what we've been able to do here. Starting with our traffic picture. So you can see website started in January of 2024 last year. Obviously, we're getting no traffic. We were at 10 for January. That started scaling pretty steadily. Again, Power Sports was the first dealership we started working with, so we were able to get a jump start on this content. And you can see once we started working together in February, we really started to scale this up high. We don't have a baseline for last year to look at, but you can see the general trend that we're looking at, steady growth. So that's the plan for this year, continue this growth and try to be steady with it. The other thing for Power Sports is they don't have any keywords attached to that dealership. Since we weren't working with a different SEO agency or had any real history with this domain, we've had to seed all those keywords ourselves. So you can see here starting the initial day of the website, January, February 2024, we had 15 total keywords, 0 top 3, 0 top 10, 0 top 20. So nothing. Basically, you search Google, you're not finding us. Where we ended up in December of this year, we were able to rank 5 keywords for top 3, 30 for top 10, and 54 for top 20. Total of 712 keywords. Really awesome start for the first year of a domain. I expect us to be able to double this, if not triple this in the coming year. But I think this dealership's off to a great start. We're going to see this trend continue through this year and just keep increasing traffic as much as we can. Same with keywords. Other half of this equation is going to be our authority score. Again, we had no authority score when we started this, but we got up to 12 this year, which is solid. It's at a fine. We want to get this up to a good. But like I was talking about the web in the previous dealerships, you see this web here? That's Power Sports in the middle. If you look back in the video and you look at the other dealerships' webs, here, I'll actually do it for you. You can see the web, which is all the different domains that Google's seeing ping back to your dealership website. The web for Power Sports is basically nothing. We don't have a lot of backlinks here, so I do think if Power Sports is a priority, I think the next thing that we can do for that is include a backlinking package. And start backlinking there, because that's the fastest way we're going to start growing that authority score, and that's the fastest way that our content's going to really start pushing the needle. But yeah, if you look at Bayshore and you see this network graph right here on the right, it'll load in just a second. Yeah, do you see this web? See how many different areas there are there? Those are all little websites pointing back to your site. If you look at Power Sports, this is probably 10% of what Bayshore has. So that's what I see the biggest issue for Power Sports. But that being said, I mean, we're still increasing backlinks. We're not doing this as a full-time push, but if we have free time for this dealership, I do push some backlinks there. And then our traffic is increasing, which is great. So I think Power Sports is in a good place. I think the BMW dealerships and Mini are in the best place, and I think that this year is going to be a huge year for us. We'll continue with our strategy. Again, this year we're really focusing on driving the models that the people boots on the ground in the dealerships are telling us to drive. Working with the service center and some articles there. There's been some really great movement for keywords for the service center too. We wrote an article earlier last year about oil changes specifically for BMWs, linking back to the dealerships. And we're now ranked number 2 on Google for BMW oil change. And that fluctuates, depending on where people are location-wise. But that's a great thing, especially locally, for people who are looking to get oil changes for their BMW. It's just a great way to get people back into the store, for that service center. So yeah, main focus for this year is going to be doubling down on those top intent keywords. Main reason is that that's where 90% of the traffic and 90% of the search volume is coming from. And it's also where our competitors are targeting. So we want to steal their traffic. We want to gain those customers. That's where we're focusing. We're going to move those new models, anything that people in the dealership are looking to move. We're going to help out with the service center, and we're going to continue backlinking the shit out of these websites because it's really working. And as you can see, for most of the dealerships, we pretty much doubled traffic in 1 year, which is unheard of organically. It's honestly probably my best ever work in terms of SEO that I've ever been able to see. It's fantastic. I'm really excited about this project. I love working with you guys. If there's anything you need from me, please let me know. I hope this video was helpful. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to watch it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.